My good friend, have you noticed that the price of Dianogan tea has risen considerably since we broke the Treaty of Coruscant? One of the costs of war you never anticipate. And now my jamming device is working, so we can dispense with the inanities.
You're not usually this cautious. What's going on?
Thanks to a now wealthy Kubaz information broker, I've identified the people who want me dead. They represent an organization called Project Protean, a secret research and development group inside the Imperial Science Bureau.
You are good at this game. Give me the details.
Protean researches practical applications of alien biology. You recall the genetically modified assassins who came after me? They're only the beginning.
Imagine troops spliced with Abyssin genes to enhance healing, or adrenals derived from Gamorrean hormones. Most test subjects don't fare well, but you can see the potential.
That sounds awfully like what you were doing on Taris.
There's a great deal of interdepartmental rivalry in our work, and my research does overlap with theirs. They may have targeted me in order to ensure that they have no competition, inside or outside the Empire.
This is your operation. What's our next step?
Further study, I'm afraid. Right now, I'm unsure where the project is based or how to contact its members, but I wanted to keep you apprised. Now, about that Dianogan tea. A moment. Hour 36. Subject exhibiting a low-grade fever and elevated N-cell counts. I will proceed to the second formula.
Apologies for that, Agent. Bioexperiment logs wait for no man.
There's not a lot you can do to surprise me.
Well, I told you about Project Protean and their research into alien genetics. I managed to gain access to one of their databanks.
Nothing incriminating there, but I was impressed by their scientific data. I've been adapting it for my own studies into the Rak-Ghoul virus.
If you're running tests on yourself, you must be confident in the results.
Sample assays can only tell one so much. I'm now in my second day incubating the modified virus. If it doesn't break down my cell structure entirely, I should emerge revivified.
You mention the virus now and then, but you never talk about being a Rak-Ghoul. Why is that?
Perhaps it's the fever talking, but in truth, the experience is intense and personal. There's a loss of control, and I wonder if I am man or beast.
I'm sorry, I never realized what you went through.
You take me too seriously, Agent. If you're worried, however, I reassure you that the thing you see me change into, the thing that eats people, that thing is me. I have never been a pleasant person.
Agent, you can bear witness. Dr. Lokin has agreed to hike Cars Falls with us if we visit the Cars City Opera.
Vector's musical tastes are, frankly, unsophisticated. I'm only trying to help.
Then we have a deal.
Well, that can wait. Right now, there's something the three of us must discuss.
I think you've got our attention.
As you are both aware, I've been investigating Project Protean, an off-the-books division of the Imperial Science Bureau.
The people who want you dead.
Precisely. Their research is focused on human-alien genetic splicing. I've studied their files, along with your own physiology, Master Vector, and I've come to a conclusion.
Project Protean arranged your meeting with the Killiks so they could study the joining.
Vector was working for the diplomatic service, not the Science Bureau.
Protean is well-funded, perfectly able to trade favors with Vector's old superiors.
That part doesn't surprise us.
For what it's worth, I don't believe it was personal. They wanted a test subject, and you were on Alderaan already.
What do you think of all this?
We think we are who we are, but we prefer not to be someone else's puppet.
Understandable. They have files on the Killiks, ways to hurt joiners or to heal them. They may have altered Vector, or simply observed him.
I consider it our obligation to find Project Protean and end them, for Vector's sake as well as mine.
You've pulled a lot of data on these people. Finish the job.
It will be my pleasure.
If you'll excuse us, we'd like to commune with the Hive.
You don't want my advice, but I'll give it anyway. Vector knows who he is. Give him time to be sure of it.
Agent, I've been continuing my research into Project Protean, the fine people who want me dead, and who are responsible for Vector's condition.
I have the location of their headquarters.
Give me the details, Doctor.
Protean's main laboratory is on a planetoid in the subtitles sector. Security is tight, but not impervious. I've arranged transportation for Vector and myself. He deserves to know the truth about his victimizers.
If you're moving against Protean, I ought to be there. Besides, you'll need assistance.
I'm afraid this is a personal matter, and I am capable of operating on my own. I plan to learn exactly why Protean tried to kill me and recover their data on Master Vector. The rest we can play by ear.
Take whatever equipment you need and call me if you run into trouble.
Of course. We'll see you again when this is over.
We have returned from Project Protean. The task is done.
And I have promises to keep. It seems Protean was based on prior experiments in alien biology. My prior experiments. I had no proof until I discovered certain former associates in the Protean lab. But I've ensured that they will not misuse my research again.
What did you do at the research facility?
Vector and I entered the facility as planned and interviewed the woman in charge. In return for my generosity sparing the laboratory, I've been appointed unofficial Protean director. From now on, every experiment, every assay goes through me.
That's quite a victory. What do you plan to do with that authority?
Protean serves a function, bringing the benefits of alien biology to all people.
Starting with its work on joiners.
Your Protean files have already been deleted, and the Killick experiments stopped.
That's not enough. No more treating people as test subjects. You'll reform Protean, and I'll be watching.
I have no desire to make you into an enemy.
He offered to try and cure us. We refused, of course. We don't entirely understand him, but we don't blame him for Protean's work, or for our joining, whatever his part really was.
You forgive him that easily? He means something to you.
We don't think he likes people. We don't know why he tolerates us, but he does, and we're grateful. We don't always have to trust our friends.
Doctor, what can I do for you today?
I was just thinking what a fine team we've made. You realize that when we met, I had an extremely low opinion of you. I assumed you'd earned your position through political connections. I made that mistake with an agent once before.
I don't suppose I've earned your approval yet.
In part, I'll grant. The agent I'm thinking of, he was promoted to Keeper and eventually Minister. A very clever man who will have my eternal respect. Your path may be similar to his. Given that and the state of our empire, I believe it's wise if I continue to advise you.
I believe it's wise to keep you at my side.
Then you're learning.
In any case, I'm at your disposal. And one of these days you should consider training more operatives. I'll be happy to grant my insight.